What's going on, Bulls Nation? Welcome in to CHGO Bulls post-game. Coming to you live from our studios here in West Loop, downtown Chicago. I'm Peck Bulls _Peck, joined by my guys, Big Day, BAM! BAWL Sports.
Need the Bulls win, drop Kev.
Bulls win!
Bulls win, baby.
Will to go Gottlieb, Will _Gottlieb, and our panel producer on the controls, one and only Kevin Wells. What's up, Kev?
1-0, baby.
1-0.
Starts with one. It starts with one.
That's right. Who said preseason doesn't count?
I didn't. Will's face.
I didn't say anything.
I want my Bulls win drop. Kev ain't got my Bulls win.
You got to find that Bulls win drop.
Bulls win drop.
Yeah, man. When the Bulls win, the drop that comes when it wins, man, it's all right.
Can you
Bulls win.
That one.
Is that it?
Probably
I'll look for it.
A file labeled Bulls win.
It's true.
I got it. I
Hit it. Bulls win.
Hey, there it is.
It's usually shorter, but I'll take it.
Is it the full one or the long one?
It's the without the bomb on it.
Okay.
It usually just says Bulls win, and I'll tell you to keep playing it over and over and over and over. Yes,
that's right.
Preseason action.
Now we can start post game.
Now we can do it.
We got the Big Day Bulls win audio drop.
Yes,
guys, the Bulls beat the Cleveland Cavaliers, their Central Division foes. 116-112 was the final. They did trail by, I believe, 13 at halftime when most of the actual Cavs and actual Bulls were playing.
Yes.
Plenty to get to in this game. We'll break it down as we move forward. Billy threw out everything but the kitchen sink in that second half, which, as Bulls fans looking at sort of a quasi-rebuilding year, I think, especially for a preseason game, you got to be happy about.
Very happy about it. I wanted to see everybody play. I just wanted to see all the young guys get out there, run around, and do stuff. And that's exactly what we saw. We saw a bunch of stuff getting done by some young prospects of the Chicago Bulls. We know what we got in the older guys. We know what Kobe and Ayo and Zach and Vooch and all those guys are going to be. But it's those young guys we got to figure out. And there was one young guy in particular, that young Matas Buzelis, who was doing his thing tonight. But, yeah, all the young guys got out there and I thought played well. Julian Phillips was solid. Dalen was solid. So, yeah, I thought they were solid.
Yeah, I mean, this is all just going to be, and I think we kind of learned it as the game went on, too. It's like, this is about the young guys. And it's preseason, so it's like extra about the young guys. But it was nice to see Matas get some minutes. It was nice to see I thought Julian Phillips played well. We can talk about him. I know Matt would be excited about that. Kobe obviously scored a bunch of points, and that was cool. But I think it's really just like about trying to establish a new style of play, a new identity without DeMar here and inserting Giddey. It's like it's going to be different. I think they are still all very much filling that out. But I thought like the veteran players, Vooch and Zach in particular, really tried to buy into that and not really like command too many touches or like get in the way too much. It was all just trying to feel it out. And I think they were down big at halftime, whatever. But like, that's kind of the idea here.
Well, we can get to some of what we saw and liked from the younger guys who especially got a lot of tick in the second half. But because you mentioned Zach and Vooch and some of these vets who are still here and were Billy's starting lineup tonight, it is what we assumed the starting lineup would be to be in the season. It was Patrick Williams, Vooch, Kobe White, Zach LaVine, and the newcomer, Josh Giddey. That was his starting five, and that starting five got themselves into a 0-8 hole.
Yeah.
Bulls' first possession out of the gate, Patrick Williams, turnover, dribbles the ball off his foot.
Immediately.
Things looking a little frenetic, a little disjointed, and the defense, buzz your girlfriend, woof. I mean, like, yes, we're excited for all these young guys who are here, but this is the weirdness that we've talked all offseason about is that, like, hey, there are still some of the older guys here, and they're starting.
Yeah.
And it was a awkward – I did not enjoy watching that starting five.
I didn't either. I didn't have fun watching it at all. I liked watching Kobe. I thought he was really good, really solid to watch. But, no, you're right. Patrick Williams was ass. That's what he was tonight. He did not play well. Like you said, from the beginning, literally dribbling off his foot.
Patrick Williams was a minus 18 in 13 minutes
man,
tonight.
Dude. Yeah. I
First play of the game.
Yeah. I like that. I saw him actually try to be aggressive, like actually cross over and go to the bucket and try to score. But he has this
Dave,
thing.
you're being too easy, dude.
No, I'm coming back. I ain't finished.
It's the no excuses tour. Get to it. Come on,
get
Dave.
there.
All right,
I'm telling you what I saw. I'm telling you what I know you hyped up preseason. Will to go got me, baby. And I love it. I like it in you. And I love the stinking wheel when it's like this. But man, I saw the dude dribble. And I was like, okay, great. But then he dribbled strong and then he finishes weak every single time. He would go up strong, crossover, layup. Go up strong, crossover, fade away. And no rebounds still. Still not going up for those rebounds to get that. He looked very discombobulated. I didn't like it. Like I said earlier to start it, Will, he was ass. I didn't like it at all. I did not like his game. I didn't want to see it anymore. I just wanted to see Matas play, man. Like I was done with him after that first half. Of course, it's preseason, it's early and all that, yada, yada. But in this game, man, I was expecting him to look a little bit better, and I didn't see it.
So I was obviously just being facetious. I don't have any.
Get on him, Will!
I don't have any like strong feelings about this because it's preseason, and like it was his first game back since January when he had his foot surgery, and you know the fact that he was even out there, I think was a surprise to some people. Shout out to Red Fred. Like he did not think Patrick was going to be out there, but I see our guy Mark K in the comments, so I'll share some commentary of our little chit chat throughout the game.
He's only 23.
He's watching preseason.
It's like, you know, without DeMar here, all these guys have to step up a role, right? Mm-hmm. And so you don't have like the number one guy. So now Kobe has to be the number one guy, or, you know, when Zach's out there, whatever. Like the way that they're playing now, all those guys have to each kind of step up. And I think the potential for you to be, or I guess I'll say it this way, like Patrick, for example, could be a positive or neutral contributor in like a fifth best player on the court at any given time role, right? Because he can shoot threes, he can play defense. Like it's possible for him to be a neutral or positive player in that setting. But if you make him now go from the fifth best player to the fourth best player, or the third best player, where you want him to have the ball in his hands and be like the first or second best player, like his ability to quickly become a negative impact on the game, it increases very quickly. And so I think that's kind of what you see there. And that's why he was, what was it? minus 18 on the night, is that like, not only are you, you know, giving him more opportunity by doing this, which I think we all can agree, like it's a good thing for him. Like we want to see what he can do with that. Yeah. But I also think that the way that he impacts the game changes a lot, right? And I think it goes from like neutral or slightly positive to maybe slightly negative in some cases to now you're trying to like make this guy run the offense and he can't dribble. Yeah. Like that's very problematic. So again, first couple like minutes back for Patrick. Yeah. Off the foot surgery. Yeah. But like this idea that he is now going to be a better player without DeMar when he struggled playing off of DeMar, I think that's a stretch. And I think you could see it in that very first possession of there's going to be some rocky times for him. And not to say he can't get better, not to say he can't improve, not to say he doesn't need these reps in order to get to that point. He does. But I think it's going to be a rocky transition for him and a lot of these younger guys because of how much attention DeMar brought, how he changed the way that defenses guarded you, the way that he manipulates the game and finds easy opportunities for those guys. That's not going to be there a lot. And they're trying to manufacture that with transition. But again, that's only 15% of the game.
Yeah, and all that's true, Will, but he can still control certain things like his aggression in the game. Sure. Like anything else can happen. Sometimes you get a turnover, you dribble off your foot. You know what I mean? Those things go down. But your aggression is something that you can control. Your motor is something that you can control. And I didn't see that aggression. It was one play where he went up for the rebound aggressively, and it's like he wasn't used to doing it, and he just kind of fell over after he just went up and tried to get the rebound, and he just wasn't used to doing it. It just hasn't been more comfortable with that. And I have to see more of that from him, man. We need to see more of it. And I know he wants to do it. I get that. And I get it. It's preseason. It's early. His first game. He ain't played. He's been injured. All of that stuff. But again, I'm on the no excuses tour. Yeah. So I'm just like, dude, I got to see it, man. Like I can't give you those excuses no more. I got to see these things.
But Dave, like when you talk about no excuses, is that like no excuses on the process, meaning like there's no excuse but for you to be completely aggressive on this play, to go up and like attack the rebounds, to be the guy who's putting his head down and going to the basket? Or is it the no excuses tour from the result standpoint of like, I'm sick of watching you dribble it off your foot. Like, I need to see you put it in the basket this time.
Oh, it's both, but I understand the process has to happen because he's injured. Like, I'm not cold-hearted. I get that.
No,
but I think, like, I
think it's worth clarifying for the people.
Yeah,
like,
no, I understand he's got to get himself back up to certain points. It's just watching him try to work himself up back to a certain point, it still feels like I'm seeing the same thing. Mm-hmm. And that's what's so frustrating about it, is seeing that, and I'm waiting for some kind of growth. Like I said, I saw him cross it over. I saw him get to the bucket and try to score. I saw him go up with Vooch, 2 people going for a rebound. I looked over at him and said, hey, look at that, 2 people going up for a rebound at the same time. That's a thing. I didn't see it too much often, though, after that. Those are the things I'm kind of thinking about. So, yeah, man, like, I get all that, but it's a no excuses to it, bro. He got to bring it.
Shout out to you, over 250 Bulls fans hanging out with us at 8:40 p.m. on a weeknight to talk about Bulls preseason action. Hit that like if you're with us on YouTube. We appreciate it. A lot of you chiming in with the P. Will underwhelming 13 minutes tonight. Our guy Fish saying, P. Will, come on, man. P. Will was stinky. My goodness. So ripped. Pat stinks. Michael Gardner, Patrick needs to get it together, man. Joshua Simmons, we're talking plus minus in preseason. Yeah, it's about to be miserable up in here. Marquet, he's only 23, though.
That made me laugh. That was a good one. That was good.
Julia, no excuses, period, on his play, period. Confidence initiative, come through. Please, Pat. Matthew Shorsh in the comments saying, P. Will should just watch Matas to see what it looks like to play with a motor. Roar saying, can we please stop expecting Patrick Williams to be good? EcoBeam, Pat got paid. He doesn't care what y'all think about him. Okay, yeah. So, look, preseason, first game of preseason, it's a time of overreactions. And overreactions you can, choose to take or leave, not take very seriously. You ready for my preseason game 1 overreaction? You ready for it?
Give him a drink.
The Bulls just wasted $90 million. I have been trying so damn hard to believe in Patrick Williams for what, 4 going on 5 years now? Again, preseason overreaction, but what the hell, dude?
A double throw.
What the hell?
That's 2.
It's a double dunk.
The Bulls just wasted $90 million. Matas Buzelis should get Patrick Williams' starting spot if he plays that much better than Pat throughout these preseason games. Game 1 of 82, start Matas, bench Pat. Gee, there's a familiar story. Pat loses his starting job to whoever. Pick a name out of a hat. Don't matter. It's because Pat ain't doing shit. God.
There it is. Oh, mid-season form, ladies and gentlemen.
Hi, Samsung.
Look at him. What up, Ben Dean? What's happening, man? Yeah.
Ben Dean.
Yeah, this is the stuff we were over there screaming at.
One of those was for you, buddy.
This is the stuff we were over there screaming watching the game, man. It was just really frustrating to see. And again, I understand it takes time with the injury and those things, but like you're saying, Matt, the motor, the aggressiveness, those kind of things, that has nothing to do, with the actual foot going on right there. Showcasing those kind of things, man. And that's what was frustrating sitting there watching that.
And there was a play, maybe it was the 3rd basket of the game for the Cavs. Patrick just got lost in transition defense, and Donovan got a 3.
Sure did.
That's the kind of stuff where it's like, this team is already going to be really behind the 8 ball defensively. Like, if you want to be remotely respectable, if you want to get to like 25th, like, you're going to have to be like locked in.
Yeah.
And that's kind of stuff that gets preseason, first couple of possessions, caveats here and there, but like, that's the kind of thing that is within your control that you can adjust. And there were just so many. I mean, we can spend half an hour talking about the defense and the transition and the rebounding and just giving up layups and dunks left and right.
Yeah.
But, man, they were giving up layups.
Left and right. Like you said, I forgot how you said it. It was an all-star game. It looked like an all-star game.
It looked like it was an all-star game.
At some point in that time with them, man. So,
yes, the Bulls were giving up layups left and right and open threes left and right. But at least as recently as, 5-minute mark left, 5 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter, they were nearly doubling up the Cavs in fast break points. So there's something they accomplished.
Yeah.
That they said they wanted to accomplish.
They wanted to
get out, play fast.
Yeah, I thought that's what we were going to see, and we definitely saw it.
No one said anything about playing defense.
No. No.
We got to take our first break here on CHGO Bulls postgame. Stick around, lots more to get to. Coming up next.
Kevin Wilson, time is it?
It's game time. Who?
Well done, sir. Game time.
Not going to catch me slipping twice.
That's what
Not on the first game. Not on the first game.
Talk to me about it.
Not the first post-game show.
Oh, I like it so much, man. Game time, y'all. You know what it is. They also, guess what? They've got a new feature called Game Time Picks that makes it easier to get in those tickets to your favorite live events, y'all. So Game Time Picks filters out all the fluff to show you only the incredible deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching through those thousands of tickets. They're making it more simple and easier to get yourself down with the Game Time app. Because, of course, the Game Time Picks is a curation. Makes it easy to save more on sports, concerts, comedy, and theater, and much, much more. And, of course, they got that all-in pricing. They got the views from the seats. They got the lowest price guarantee. And, of course, that Game Time ticket coverage, which means if your purchase is covered with the most flexible customer service policy in the ticketing industry. They said it with their whole chest. Go ahead. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app. Create an account. Use that code CHGO. Get yourself $20 off your first purchase.
There's blind.
That's CHGO. Get yourself $20 off your first purchase.
There's blind.
Download Game Time today. Oh. I messed him up.
Broke Kev.
I messed him up. I broke him.
Preseason game 1. You broke Kev.
Matter of fact, please tell him what time it is.
Game Time Hoop. Today's show also brought to you by our friends at Coors Light. Between work, social media, waiting for Patrick Williams to do something useful, and all the different stresses life throws our way, it's no wonder we can get a little worked up sometimes. But Coors Light celebrates rising above all of that noise and all that stress and choosing a chill mindset. Why not turn Rained Out Barbecue into the 1000th annual Will the Go Gottlieb / Uncle Will Purdue joint hosted karaoke party?
Wow.
Or after a tough loss, settle the score with an ice-cold peace offering. Maybe the Bulls brought the Cavs some Coors Lights in their locker room after the Bulls just whooped them. Yeah. Make the choice to choose chill, then reach for Coors Light. It's mountain cold refreshment, y'all, and when the mountains turn blue, you know that Coors Light inside is cold as the Rockies and ready to drink. Coors Light is cold lager, cold filtered, and cold packaged for a smoother finish. When you embrace a chill mindset, that's a perfect time to choose chill. Crack open a Coors Light. Make the most of those times you choose to chill by getting Coors Light delivered straight to your door with Instacart. Just go to CoorsLight.com/CHGO basketball. That's CoorsLight.com/CHGO basketball. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
I like how Lars said, appreciate you, Kel. Welcome to post-game land.
It's good to be here. It's really good to be here.
It's good to have you, sir. It's good to have you.
Shout out to Corey, who threw us a $5 super chat. Anybody else out there in Bulls Nation feeling like a generous soul tonight? Throw some super chats. We'll get to all of them. Kobe, Io, Matas, and Giddey are the cornerstones, in my opinion. Still need to find our center of the future. Oh, what are you talking about? We've got him for this year and next year. His name is Nikola Vucevic.
Oh, they're going to say something.
No. Well, I mean, so we got Vuce. We did see a decent amount of Jalen Smith tonight, guys, because Corey brought it up. Thanks again for the super chat. What did you make of the other non-Josh Giddey newcomer before we get to Giddey?
Jalen Smith was kind of what I thought he was going to look like. Didn't look great. Didn't look bad. Just kind of in the middle with things. Started off, I believe, with 2 3-point shots. It felt like those were just shots he took because he was like, I'm open. So it wasn't in rhythm. Usually big guys like that, they got to get in rhythm. Will was bringing up a great point about when he was playing with a guy like Tyrese Halliburton, who's known for getting you the basketball exactly where you need it and within the rhythm that you need it. So it makes it simple for just a simple catch and shoot like that. And he didn't get those. They were open, but it wasn't a real rhythm to it. It was just like, you're open, you got to take this shot kind of thing. And you saw the results of what occurred. But still, in fact, I like the fact that he played down in the paint. Guys were penetrating, getting to the bucket, and kicking him the basketball because the other team would collapse on them, obviously, when they're trying to drive. And, you know, he can get a lot of layups that way. And tip dunks he had. He had a tip dunk, I believe, as well. So I thought he was cool. He looked like a backup center for the Chicago Bulls.
11 and 10 off the bench in 17 minutes. Shout out to our guy, Sal Garcon, in the comments who said Jalen Smith looked good as advertised other than the shooting. Yeah. And so, of course, as a big who can stretch the floor, as advertised, Jalen Smith in his Bulls debut 0-4 from 3.
But that was like my big – I mean, I've literally said this I think every single time we've talked about him. Yeah. But like, okay, 2022-23, he shoots 28% on threes. 2023-24, he shoots 42.7% on threes. Like, which is the real one? And when you tell me, like, he goes from the Pacers offense, which was like one of the best in the league last year, which was on a historic rate before Tyrese Halliburton pulled his hamstring and wasn't the same after that. Like, I'm going to probably factor that into like it being a big part of his success. Mm-hmm. And so you put him in a new situation. Obviously the Bulls are trying to replicate some of that. They're trying to play faster. They've got Giddey, who I think is a very good passer who can get him open, but to go 0 of 4, I think that just kind of signals like, okay, which version, if either of these, or is it going to be like somewhere in the middle, are we getting of Jalen Smith? Because if you're investing in a center, no matter if it's a starter or backup, like, and part of the value that you're after here is his ability to space the floor, and he's not doing it, like, then you run into a situation where like you're just not being guarded out there, and you're not making up for that as like a post scorer. The way at least Vooch, like when he's not shooting the ball well, he can at least go into the post and like either be a passing hub or try to score.
Sure.
Like Jalen Smith, I think can be a good role man. There were a couple, I think he had like a tip dunk and like a putback dunk, but not necessarily like a vertical lob threat type guy, or at least not with the point guard play that he mostly played with. But that's just a flag to me. And I obviously it's one preseason game. It's like a very small sample, and you've got 86 more games of this season that we're going to get to see. But that's something I've got my eye on in terms of his ability to add value to this team is going to have to come through spacing the floor and creating those driving lanes for guys like Josh Giddey and Kobe White that you wouldn't get with an Andre Drummond out there. And so if he's not giving you that and teams start to key in on that and not guard him out there, now you're in a little bit of trouble.
Yeah. Relax in the comments saying Josh Giddey is a bigger problem. Absolutely no defense. Guys, let's now get to what we thought of Giddey's game and how he meshed with not only that starting five, but maybe a few of the other lineup combinations we saw out there with Giddey. Look, 11 points on 5 of 11 from the field. He did miss all 3 of his three-point attempts, including
one badly.
Airball. It's okay. Zach had one too. But some of the other things that we know the Bulls front office was excited about in acquiring Giddey in that trade, they mentioned always, hey, he rebounds too. We need that. Yeah. He grabbed 7 boards tonight, 6 on the defensive end. He did dish out 3 dimes. And even though Roar had a comment, or who was it? Somebody in the comments was saying, relax, saying Giddey's a bigger problem. Absolutely no defense. Giddey was credited with a steal and 2 blocks tonight, which like, wow, don't necessarily expect to see that. But we also saw some pretty atrocious Giddey gaffes on defense tonight.
Yeah, I mean, that's just not who he is as a player. And I think
told you himself on Media Day. I am no Alex Caruso.
Yeah,
he did.
And I think you're putting him in a situation to like not really look that good either. Like there's not a defensive infrastructure behind him that can cover up for his mistakes.
True.
Because the whole thing is like lacking infrastructure. You've got Kobe, you've got Zach, you've got Vooch out there with him. It is like, it's just going to be hard for these guys to really stop anyone. Like, I just think they're going to be one of the worst 3, if not the very worst defense in the league when you're playing those guys heavy minutes. So they're not doing him any favors, but look, I mean, the idea is not to like be this defensive stalwart. It's to get out and transition and run and pass and move the ball and keep it humming so that you can manufacture points on the offensive end to make up for some of that. And I think, look, this team is not trying to win a championship this year, right? They're trying to do the opposite of that. They're trying to
AK said, quote, we're trying to win every game. That sounds like trying to win a championship to me.
Yeah, but I think they're trying to be competitive.
Really? Are you now?
They're trying to remain competitive with the roster that they have. And that roster is intentionally not equipped to play at that kind of level. Yeah. So it is what it is. But yeah, I mean, that's one of the larger issues that you get with bringing in a guy like Giddey is he's not a good defensive player. He's not good off the ball. So that means he has to just be incredible on the ball in order to justify him being out there. Because otherwise, if he's not so good on the ball that like, no, actually, let's put it in somebody else's hands. Now he's off the ball and he's hurting you. So, I don't see any of that changing right away, at least. But I also don't think I saw anything from him on the ball that would suggest that he's like this explosive, has to be a 30% usage primary creator, because he's just not really scoring. Like there were a couple drives that he had that I thought were nice. He got to the foul line for 2 attempts, but he's got to be like a real scoring threat, I think, to really put him into another level. And obviously 11 points in 22 minutes. He's probably going to be playing upwards of 30, 34 on most nights, so that number will go up. But I think for defenses to take him seriously, it's going to require him to be a really dynamic driver. And like, I didn't really see him breaking guys down off the dribble. It was all, catch and runs, or like dribble handoffs and things like that, which is good, but it's a limitation in his game. And I don't think that's changing from, game, whatever it was, 82 plus however many playoff games in OKC to game preseason 1 here.
Yeah, I didn't see. I mean, it was kind of as advertised. You know what I mean? Like everything I've previously seen and known about Josh Giddey, I saw.
That's literally what I have in my write-up.
Yeah,
okay. Was as advertised.
Yeah, like it was the same thing. See,
yeah,
great minds. That's how we work. But
wow,
the 11 points, the 7 rebounds, and the 3 assists. I think you were dead on that part, Will. Talking about especially how he scored, because I remember saying, while we were watching, like he has no real move. Or no, and it even when he goes up, it doesn't look smooth, and it's like, oh, it went in, like cool, you know what I'm saying? That's nice.
Put him next to Pat, and then it'll look like he has moves.
He had more rebounds than Pat. But yeah, man, like I liked him in transition. Obviously, that's what he's really good at, and that's where he kind of started scoring at, is when the ball is constantly moving. The rebounds were great, and he did exactly kind of what I thought he would be. And the defense was, oh my goodness, like, oh man, that's going to be tough for 82 of these games to sit there and watch that, man. So as long as he's running, it's fine. But when everything slows down, like we saw today in that first quarter, things were slowing down, and you had to run some plays. And it was a problem because he would end up with the ball with about 5 on the clock, and he's like, well, I got to shoot this 3 now. Like, this has got to happen right here. And because it was the right rotation and the right shot to take, just not the shot that he can hit. So he took the shot, and you all saw the results. But yeah, man, he's not bad. He's not a terrible basketball player. He definitely has some skill. He has some talent. 11 points, 7 rebounds, and 3 assists. So you say a steal and 2 blocks is enough to keep you on the basketball floor, man. So he's good enough for those things. It's just the things that he's missing, they're missing. And I don't see how they're going to get a little bit better as the season keeps going.
Fish in the comments saying Kobe looked way better than Giddey with the ball in his hands.
Yeah, Kobe balled.
I would agree.
Yeah.
And look, it's a starting lineup card. It's whatever, but I don't know if anybody out there in Bulls Nation noticed, Giddey was listed as their starting point guard tonight. Kobe White, shooting guard.
What we've been telling
you. And look, some people say, hey, it's a position, it's a name of a position, it doesn't really matter.
It's a Wazzy.
You've said similar things, Goat, as far as like, it's just about what kind of offense they're running and who's got the ball in their hands, not about, the SG or the PG next to your name. However, we in that Darnell column towards the tail end of the offseason, there was about a few different things. One of those things was people within the Bulls brass, coaching staff, front office, see Kobe as more of an off guard. And that Kobe has continuously stated throughout his NBA career, I see myself as a point guard. I want to be a point guard. And after last season, I think I earned being the point guard of this team.
Yeah.
And did Kobe White look better with the ball in his hands tonight than Josh Giddey did? Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think, like, when I get it, like, having the starting point guard moniker, like, it matters to people. I understand that. I'm not trying to, like, minimize that, but Kobe was playing off of DeMar last year. So when you have a bigger wing initiator, you can say Kobe's a point guard, but like the role is very much the same as being a shooting guard because DeMar was initiating the offense. So calling Giddey the point guard and him initiating the offense, Kobe's still in kind of an off guard role. True. And so the role itself, I don't think has changed. And Kobe looked great tonight. I'm not taking that away from him. Sure. He was awesome. But I just think that it's not all that different from playing next to DeMar. Obviously, the system is different. The way that they're playing is different. But I don't think that the situation itself is all that different.
There was another guard who looked awesome tonight too, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, that young man who came in up off that bench. That young man, that Morgan Park guy, looked pretty dang on awesome coming off.
Oh, you talking about Aya?
Oh.
Yeah, he looked pretty good. He looked pretty damn good. Looked like a guy that a bunch of like 29 teams would want to trade for in the middle of the season. If I had my own NBA team, I'd trade for him.
Man,
he's good.
From the moment he walked on the floor, He impacted the game.
Yeah.
I know we got a break. I'll get into that.
We do have to break. We get to IO many other things coming up next on CHGO Bulls postgame.
We are sponsored by the Chicago Sports Network, the new home of the Blackhawks, Bulls, and White Sox games. CHSN. They will broadcast more than 300 live games per year across the Blackhawks, Bulls, and White Sox, and will feature a full lineup of original Chicago-focused sports content. They are Chicago-based, they are Chicago-built, and they are Chicago to the bone. And they are bringing it to every corner of Chicago across our 77 neighborhoods and beyond. At CHSN, Chicago comes first. Visit CHSN.com for more info on how to watch Bulls, Hawks, and Sox games all season long. And after you watch those games, whether you're watching it on the cable or over the air on your antenna, guess what? On the post games, you come right here to CHGO and check us out, and also the Blackhawks post game, and also that White Sox post game as well. CHGO for all your post games after the game.
Today's show also brought to you by our friends at Factor Meal Kits. Crisp fall Chicago days are calling, y'all. Ooh, I love it. Exhibit A, shorts and hoodie weather. It is the best for us true Chicago-blooded people. Fuel up for those fall Chicago days with Factor's no prep, no mess meals. Meet your wellness goals in time for fall thanks to the menu of chef-crafted meals with options like Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, that's what I'm talking about, and Keto. Factor's fresh, never frozen meals are dietitian approved and ready to eat in just 2 minutes. So no matter how busy you are, you'll always have time to enjoy nutritious, great tasting meals. Make today the day you kickstart a new healthy routine. What are you waiting for? Crush your wellness goals this month with dietitian approved meals. Make your days delicious from breakfast to dessert. Stay fueled with easy and nutritious options. Treat yourself to these restaurant quality meals that feature premium ingredients like filet mignon, shrimp, and black and salmon, this guy. Head to factormeals.com/CHGO Bulls50 and use promo code CHGO Bulls50 to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next month. That's code CHGO Bulls50 at factormeals.com/CHGO Bulls50 to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next month while your subscription is active. Factor Meal Kits. Try their smoothies too. I love their smoothies.
Smoothies are awesome.
Delicious.
Yes.
Thank you to all you 350-plus Bulls fans out there in Bulls Nation hanging out with us on YouTube live on a Tuesday evening.
It's a preseason game.
Can we get some more of them likes?
That's Bulls Nation for you, Kev. That's diehard Bulls fandom.
More of them likes would be cool. We like that.
Do it for Big Dave. Do it for Troll Joe.
Do it for Troll Joe.
Troll Joe is still here, and he needs your thumbs.
That's right. Got to have them.
Before we dive back into post-game thoughts, Dave?
Yeah. No, we said before we go back into the post-game stuff, please.
Oh, yeah. I had a request.
Okay.
From the other member of our crew, who's, he's easing in. He is going to join us for a few of our preseason pre and post. Oh, but Uncle Will texted me.
Okay.
Hey, Goat.
Flex.
You were on a Joe Cowley injury report for tonight's game. And Uncle Will wanted to make sure that we made note of this. So I instead of saving it for the very end, Uncle Will, he's old. He's got to go to bed soon. I want to do this now. Shout out Uncle Will.
Okay.
Media injury report from Joe Cowley. KCJ Hoop, Casey Johnson, out. Parentheses, injured pointer finger on both hands. I don't know what that means. Was he doing the Brian Windhorst? Was that? By Julia Poe. Julia Poe of the trip. Out. Mental day, oversensitive WNBA players. Darnell Mayberry, The Athletic, out. Money Talks. Will Gottlieb, CHGO, out. Working on ventriloquist act where he sits on Will Purdue's knee during a podcast. Can confirm that did not happen. Check your sources, Joe Cowley.
Thank God. I do not need to be sitting on anybody's laps.
Yeah, it's not. He's the GOAT. He don't roll like that. That's it. He stands on mountains.
I could see it though.
You can?
Well, yeah.
Okay, because he's 7
Uncle
feet.
Will is gigantic.
I can see it, but Will, he's older though.
My aura is gigantic. Though.
Goat needs to shrink at least like another 50% of his body size to be a believably sized ventriloquist dummy on Purdue's knee.
I think if maybe 10, 15 years ago, I would believe this. But Will's knees and ankles right now, man. Nah, brother.
You saying Purdue can't handle it?
Yeah,
can't handle the stress.
No, man. You know, you seen the GOAT? This man's up here, dog.
Big boy.
He cut up. Come on, man. Cut up.
That's how you know this is preseason, because we're talking about this.
Actually, this is regular season content too. Will.
I'm just picturing
this guy how we roll, man.
Kevin sitting on Michael's lap in that Christmas episode of The Office. Michael insists on being Santa. He's like, "Yeah, Kevin, you can sit on my lap."
Oh my god!
All 350 pounds of him.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Dave.
Oh, I wanted to reiterate this point because I talked about this before the season started, and I still feel this way. There are only two positions in the starting five that I feel are in Penn or should be in Penn, and that's
Really?
Zach LaVine and that's Kobe White. Oh, if you want to argue Vooch in there, great. You can put Vooch in there. I'm not tripping on that. But for me, like those other ones, I feel like they could still be moved and shifted. After what you watched Ayo Dosunmu do again tonight, from the moment he walked into the game, he changed the game. He changed everything. Everything became smoother on both ends of the floor.
Got to
He
take away
immediately
transition
impacted.
bucket.
Yes.
Beautiful little two-man alley-oop action with Jalen Smith.
3-point shot right there as well.
Three-point shot, cash.
Like immediately
So
impacted the game.
who do you take out then?
That's what I'm saying. Like you have so many
Because
options
to me, it's
to do,
Patrick
but
Williams.
nothing is in stone. Patrick Williams can go sit down too.
The guy who
know what
just
I mean?
signed 5 years, 90
Yeah,
mil.
it's not for me. It's not in
Grabs the
stone.
bench.
It's not in stone. Will like Zach? Yes, he's got to play. Kobe? Yes, them two dudes got to play.
You obviously need a center out there.
You got to have Vooch out there. You
And
need
to
a
me-
center.
To me, it's like there is no world in which Josh Giddey is not playing
Mm-hmm.
as a starter. I mean, they just traded what they traded for him. They're about to give him a big extension.
They traded their
understand.
most valuable asset for him.
No, I understand.
He's their guy.
I get it. No, all of that business wise makes sense. Basketball wise, I ain't got to see more.
And
I got to see
the
it.
question is now, okay, you're gonna say Patrick, is Giddey a power forward?
Can
Like,
he be?
how do you do that?
Matas?
With Ayo playing
Give me
Ayo,
Matas.
Zach,
Toy Craig.
Kobe, Giddey, and Vooch. That's very small.
Dude, there are many options. And again, if you were saying this like, okay, Pat is tall and big, but what did it affect? What does it affect out there?
I'm not
yes,
saying you're
Giddey
wrong.
is tall
I'm
and
just
big.
saying that's
what
the
does it
reality.
affect out there defensively? I'm saying I ain't seen them guys got to earn it for me. Like I'm not giving you jack. Like I got to see you earn these things, man. After what I watched Ayo accomplish last year, telling me that has to come in behind a guy who got benched last year. I understand you traded for him, and it makes all the sense in the world business-wise, and I'm not saying he can't earn it because he can. He is good. He can play. I get that. But I'm saying I'm not going to be so quick to do those things right now. I'm going to make you prove this on the floor. And I got to see it, man. Patrick has gotten himself to a position where he's got to prove it now. Well, I'm like, well, dude, I'm not giving it to you no more because I got to see it now. Toy Craig took it from you last time. What did you say, man? Just ran the gauntlet of names down.
Pick a name out of a hat.
Who just took your job
But
from you
here's
like
the thing.
that?
Here's the thing.
You got to earn it. It's not for me. It's not given for them guys. For those guys, it's got to be earned.
I agree with you in a situation where they're trying to remain competitive and win games and make the play-in.
Yeah, but you still want to put your best five out there. I don't care who it is, Will. Like, if it's the
I know,
Wizards, you're
I
putting
know.
your best five out there.
I know.
And I'm saying, what's your best five?
I think I was in it, but I also just don't know. And that's why the situation is tricky. That's like what happens when you like sweep yourself into a corner, whatever.
Yeah.
Paint yourself into a corner, whatever the phrase is.
Yeah. No, you're
Um,
right. You're right.
Because they can't bench Zach. They can't bench Kobe.
Right. They start.
They
Yeah.
need a center out there.
Got to play.
You just traded everything for Giddey, and you just gave Patrick a bag.
Yeah.
So, yeah, from a business standpoint,
Mm-hmm.
it's just tough. But from a playing standpoint, I think you can make a case he was their best player tonight.
Ayo ball, man.
He was great.
Yeah.
He was fantastic. He came in and immediately swung the game. They were down like
Immediately.
15.
Yeah.
Or they started 8-0, and Ayo came in and he lay up, run out, and then hit a three.
Yeah.
And he's been talking about working on his pull-up three. I think we talked about that the other day, just like his having that in his bag to be able to keep defenses accountable in terms of the way that they guard him, and not like when teams try to gap him so that he doesn't get into the paint because he's so fast. Mm-hmm. And now you take that away and he can just pull up. So when he adds that to his game, he's a handful.
Yeah, a true handful. And again, I'm not saying either one of those guys can't do this. I'm just like, you got to show me a little bit more before I'm just handing it to you like, oh, yeah, you're the one. I'm picking you out. I got to see a little bit more, man. I want the proof. I want more proof. That's all.
Yeah, I mean, Billy, he's got his hands full.
I mean, what if it was just Zach?
That is the only starter, you're saying?
No, that was on the bench.
He's
not
Zach
part
LaVine?
of the future anyway.
Ooh. That gets into accelerating the lots of people here are real uncomfortable and getting real cranky about a lot of different stuff real fast.
Yeah, I don't think you can do that. Mm-hmm. And Zach's the best player on the team. Like, he just is. So that's part of it too. But
I have no problem with Zach.
Like Zach, I think Zach has like met them halfway in terms of showing up, professionalism, not being a problem, buying in.
Zach's been great.
And then to go around and say, actually, you know what? Come off the bench. Like that just would be.
Dude,
Zach's been great, man.
I think that'd be one step too far. Zach would be like, are you kidding me?
I completely agree.
Get what you're trying to do, but talent-wise, you really bring me off the bench?
Exactly.
And also, like, they're still trying to move him, right? And the way to do that is to
showcase
that he can play. What did you guys think about Zach today? I mean, to me, he had like that one corner step back when the offense broke down.
Yeah.
And that was kind of it. Like, I just didn't really see.
He had
didn't really feel him out there.
The 3-point shot also from the corner.
Yeah.
That he hit. But yeah, I felt him earlier on, but then as the game went on, it felt like he was just kind of laying back a little bit.
Another guy who came back from injury, hasn't played since January 18th. So working his way back, but
still looked aggressive.
Yeah.
Yeah, he looks like a 60% Zach LaVine.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying I think he's still only 60% healthy. I'm just saying, like, it was first preseason game, first game for him in a long time.
Yeah.
He was just easing in.
Yeah.
What's funny though is like they always say that like the tear down is the easy part and like the hard part is building it back up, and it's like it would be so much how much easier would this be to solve the Aya question if it was Zach who's the one they actually probably don't want around and they can't move him.
Right. I understand. They're in a dilemma right now. They're in a dilemma. Billy Donovan is in a dilemma right now with who's got to play. We didn't even see Lonzo tonight. No. That's still an option. You know what I'm saying, for the squad out there.
You know, like Torrey Craig and Javon Carter, two vets who were DNPs tonight, were DNPs probably because they're two vets in the preseason game, and they're probably not going to be in Billy's rotation. If they are actually going to not jerk us around and play the young kids on this team, why risk the vets getting injured in a preseason game if they're not big part of your future plans anyway?
Yeah.
Speaking of those kids, though, I mean, you talk about the decisions that Billy has to make this season. And you talk about, is this starting five that we saw tonight set in stone, written in pen, or is that erasable pen? Is that fake stone?
Yeah.
Because I was mostly just having fun with it. But if you were following along with our CHGO Bulls Twitter account tonight, A, thank you. B, I was having some fun with my love for Matas Buzelis and what we saw him do in that game.
Oh, deep love.
I went from saying Matas is winning Rookie of the Year this year to screw Rookie of the Year. Matas is winning MVP this year. To also, on top of that, with that last defensive stance he had, staying down on defense, out at the perimeter, contesting that great clean contest to force a difficult shot and a miss that the Cavs would have taken a 1-point lead with in the final seconds of that game. He's also winning DPOY this year. That's how I feel about watching Matas Buzelis play tonight. I'm looking for silver linings, Bulls Nation. Matas was my silver lining tonight. I want him playing all of the minutes for the rest of time. I don't necessarily think he will, especially out of the gate. But look, even if Billy and AK have been saying stuff in some of their interviews recently, yes, it's about youth movement and youth development, but not at the expense of integrity of the game, culture, insert meaningless adjective here. But Matas, I think tonight showed that he can hold his own with NBA players.
Yeah.
It's not like, well, we got to play Matas because he's our young rookie and he's our first-round pick and we got to develop him. Like, no, you play Matas because he looked like one of the better players out on the floor tonight.
Yeah. He looked awesome. And don't let the numbers fool you, because some people can look and say, oh, he did that against, the second-tier guys. No, Matas was in there against their starters and against their players that usually play, and he still performed. He still held his own. And that's what I like so much about it, is he just didn't look lost. at all out there on the floor. He looked like he belonged, whether it was against those guys with the Donovan Mitchells out there or whether it was against Ty Jerome and those guys out there. He looked like he belonged on both ends of the floor.
Who punked Patrick Williams, by the way.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. But that block Matas had was awesome. That was amazing, man. That almost dunk that I almost kicked over my own water on.
Dude.
Almost lost my
Big
mind.
Dave almost fell out of his chair,
Dude,
man.
I almost lost it. Almost lost it, dog. Like watching that. But Matas, dude, can hoop.
would have come down.
Oh, man. But Matas can hoop, and he's not afraid out there. The alley-oop he had to Julian Phillips, you know what I'm saying? Always looking for the other guys out there. The last play of the game, the defensive stop he had against Porter Jr., who said, I can ISO against this guy. You can tell Matas, like, for real? Word? All right. And he didn't even hit anything. It was an air ball out there. Matas just staying down, you know what I'm saying, on his defender. Yeah, man, he is skilled. He is really, really a skilled player. And I just feel he's just going to get better as it goes on. I agree with Stacey King when he talked about he thinks he could play him at the 3. He has the hands and the skill set to play that along with the 4 as well. But wherever role you have him in, he has got to get out there on the floor, Will.
Yeah, I thought the defense was the most impressive thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I think we've watched enough of him scouting his G League tape and then in Summer League to know that, like, okay, there's obviously some interesting ball handling skills going on here. The outlines of, you know, a functional jump shot are there. The aggression, the driving, the dunking, the athleticism, all that stuff really pops. But to me, it was like a question of how can he keep himself on the floor in a season where, you know, the Bulls they have a lot of other guys that they need to get minutes to. So I thought the defense was really impressive. He got switched on to Donovan Mitchell twice and stayed down, did not bite on pump fakes, forced a pass out on one and air ball or a very short jumper on the other, switched on to Darius Garland, stopped him on a drive and blocked his shot. His ability to keep smaller guards in front of him is just, I mean, he's 6'10", and he's able to slide his feet and just use his length to get himself back into plays. So I was very impressed with that, and I think that's a way you can get him out there. I think, yeah, he's a versatile combo forward. I think you can play him at the 3 or the 4, but like, why not throw him at the 5 too? Like, he can block shots. He can switch 1 through 5. Like, he's not there yet physically. He needs to add a ton of weight, obviously, to play like real meaningful minutes there. But like Billy Donovan talked about it pregame, according to Chuck Swirsky and Joe Cowley, who were there tonight, about trying out Patrick at the 5 or going small. And he's mentioned that at practice or training camp over the course of the last week or so too, of just like, you know, Jalen Smith and Vooch are kind of our only 2 options out there. And, you know, I'm not convinced he sees Jalen Smith as like a full-time 5. So maybe they do try throwing some other options out there and going small. And then that's another way to insert some more guards in the lineup too, right? Like if you're looking for minutes for Io, you can play him and 2 other guards and then Matas and Pat at the 4-5, and you've got good rim protection. You've got switchability. I think that could be really interesting. The defensive rebounding is going to be a problem, but like, why not just like experiment with some stuff this year? Because who cares if you lose? Like, you're just trying to get to know what these players have in terms of potential. And I think the only way to really know that is to stretch them out and see what sticks, see what they're capable of doing.
That's it, man. Tell us what you thought about.
Goat's going to be getting a phone call for some people after that. Who cares if they lose comment? Yeah, I mean, look, Billy Smallball is the thing that drives a lot of Bulls fans crazy. I know this. We all know this. I mean, we see them in our comments every night after Billy's playing a lot of small ball lineups.
Understand.
Hey, guys.
Again, we had this sort of conversation, I feel like, in one of our shows last week, chicken or the egg. Like, does Billy Donovan play a lot of small ball stuff because he's obsessed with it in some weird, inexplicable way, or because he's been given rosters in the NBA that are better suited to playing small ball because he just does not have the bigs or even the kind of bigs at his disposal. But I do not care where Billy needs to go to find room for Matas Buzelis in this rotation out of the gate. I'm talking, I want 15 minutes for Matas every night.
Yeah.
Out of the gate. Game 1 of 82, 15 minutes for Matas. 15 minutes the next night. 15 minutes the next night. 15 minutes the next night. We still need to find our superstar player, parentheses, Cooper Flag. But everything that we've seen from Matas, mentality-wise, motor-wise, and technician-wise, on the floor, on both ends, and agree, impressed with the defense stuff tonight.
Yes.
All of that is saying this kid can be a player.
Yeah.
Whatever else is going on with the young guys that have experience and we're kind of tanking but kind of not. Whatever. Matas, minutes, priority this season.
With a capital T.
Priority.
Yeah, man.
Play him.
He's got to play. He's got to get out there. Let me say that because I know we got.
Why
we
15? Why not more?
Why not? He just said
I was putting that as a minimum.
Yeah.
Like as a minimum.
I'm with you.
We can get more of this.
I don't want like that. Some of the young guys in the NBA, first year, second year players who are like, I got out there for 6 minutes tonight. No, 15 minutes, 15 minutes minimum for Matas Buzelis.
Oh my goodness,
15 minutes in the Matas Canoeler.
Oh, y'all, Lord. I'm so happy we got Goon of the Night tonight. This is awesome stuff.
Are we doing it? Is it official or unofficial as a preseason
we're doing
game?
Goon of the Night. It's a preseason game, I understand, but it's a win, so we got to do some Goonage of the Night, man.
I love it.
We got to hand out the belt to the people. Y'all know what happens.
To be the man, you gotta beat the man now. I'm the man. Woo!
Brought to you by Empire Today. All they do is floors, no matter what. 588-2300. Matt Empire Today. And tonight, Goon of the Night. Kevin Wells, this is your first one. I'll give it to you, sir. Who do you feel should win the coveted title of Goon of the Night?
Run me through the protocol of Goon of the Night. Best player on the floor, most gritty player on the floor. What's the
choose your own adventure?
That's it.
I mean,
who you
both
feel.
of those are acceptable reasons for picking
both are
your Goon.
acceptable reasons. They are.
Okay, well, Kobe and Matas were the best players on the floor tonight, so I'll go Kobe.
You're going Kobe?
I'm going Kobe.
Goon of the Night for young Kobe?
Honestly, Kobe played too much for my liking.
25 minutes.
I agree with you.
Sit down. we got it. We got the deal, man. We know you're good. Like,
Fair enough.
Too much for me.
Got up 15 shots tonight. Good for Kobe.
He did.
Man,
He's so
that
fun,
one
man.
Kobe and one.
He's
I
good,
think,
man.
in the mid second quarter.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah.
That little hesitation move he had, finish for
man.
contact. I miss that. I miss watching Kobe and ones.
Oh man, the pull up three in transition.
Woo!
You know what I mean? Just I love when they run the pick and roll and he steps out, or the pick and pop, I should say. He steps out, he's open. You know what I'm saying? At that elbow three. You know what I'm saying? For that one right there, I always love that play for Kobe, man. So yeah, Kobe was awesome. Kobe is awesome, and he will continue to be. So
Couple and ones too. Yeah.
yes, and the and ones too.
Gorgeous,
Yes.
Gorgeous.
One for Alec Jacoby White, Matthew Peck.
Well, honorary shout out Goon of the Night to our fearless leader, CHGO GM Jay Flanagan, who was hanging out with us tonight and celebrating a birthday.
Yes, happy birthday.
And when I tossed out a certain Chicago Beefs and Dogs establishment that I was feeling like ordering from,
they're eating the
I
dogs.
thought I might be able to convince our guy Jake that he also wanted some. And then he said, well, it's like the unofficial first night of the season. Why don't we all order it and I'll use the corporate card? So shout out to that man. Happy birthday, Jake. Delicious.
To the corporation.
I have a happy full belly right now.
Yes.
But Goon of the Night. I'm sorry, there's one answer and one answer only, and it's Taylor Horton Tucker. I saw some of y'all in the comments talking about this man, Big Dave. You said he's the new Antonio Blakeney.
Going up.
Because he's going up.
Going up.
I felt towards the end of that game that he's the new Andre Drummond.
Oh.
I called him on our team account a freight train of chaos, some good, some bad. Lot of Drummond vibes around that. The man was very involved in every play for every second that he was on the floor.
Yes.
He got 10 shots.
He did.
Taylor Horton Tucker took 10 shots. I've decided that THT now stands for not Taylor Horton Tucker, or in addition to Taylor Horton Tucker, totally hugging that shit.
Taylor Horton Tucker.
Taylor Tucker. Oh, God, leave.
I thought that I was going to say that too, and it would be kind of mean. So I was like, do I want to say that? But since Matt said it, I'll say it too.
Okay.
Taylor Horton Tucker.
He's going tonight for you. All right.
3 of 10.
Well, those are wonderful. I think that Goon of the Night should go to Taylor Horton Tucker.
Hey.
THT, this is yours, baby. This belongs to you. Shout out Dalen Terry, honorary, also Goon of the Night. I love the way Dalen Terry played out there on both sides of the basketball. He was aggressive and constant motor all the time, and somewhat a little more controlled. than I'm used to seeing it, man. So
we got a
stuff is getting a little better.
M and F and Terry out of this guy right here tonight.
Dude, that's still man, look, are you kidding me?
And at 11 volume.
Yes, man. But THC, sir, appreciate you. Shout out to you. Shout out to Simeon. Shout out to Chicago. This, sir, belongs to you. Goon of the night, Taylor Horton Tucker.
Man, after that early lead, I dig it. So I gave my biggest overreaction, gentlemen.
Okay.
What's yours? One preseason game.
I think I gave.
Everyone's allowed one overreaction.
I think I gave mine. Like, there's only two or three solid starting positions on this team right now.
So you think 2 spots in the starting 5 are up for grabs?
Yeah, two up for grabs.
Maybe 3.
Yeah,
up for grabs.
Up for grabs or should be up for grabs. Is those two? They still got the proof. From what I saw tonight, there wasn't a proof. You know what I'm saying? Any proof given that those 2 guys should be starting, especially when the guys behind them I thought played better than them, and the game flowed better. It wasn't just they came out just having a good game. They played within the flow of the game, and IO actually changed the game and what was going on in there. So, yeah, man, I think that's my biggest overreaction right there.
I don't know if I have very many, like, overreactions.
How dare you?
But I will say that I feel more emboldened by my take that the Bulls are going to be the worst defense in the league this year. The first half was literally, I mean, we already said it, but it was like an all-star game. They were just like, I mean, there was nobody in, not just the paint, but like the entire three-point arc.
If the Cavs shooters didn't kind of cool off as that second quarter,
they shot like 10 of 40.
Yeah.
You know, midway through the second quarter, they were on pace to break 70 first half points easy,
dog.
Easy.
And in the first half, they were 7 of 26 from 3, which is 26.9%.
Yeah,
so
not great. But the Bulls went 4 of 23. That problem's still here.
And like the Cavs offense is
They didn't fix it.
The Cavs offense is like their weak point, right? Like you've got Mobley at the 4, a non-shooter. The floor is clogged. You've got Allen down there. I don't know. I just feel like that's not a team that should put up 70 on you in the first half.
Yeah, true.
And I just think, they're really going to struggle. Transition was really bad. The communication wasn't there.
Yeah.
There's no resistance at the point of attack.
Yeah.
There's no backside help. I mean, like Zach and Kobe are like trying their hardest out there, but like when Mobley's ducking in, like what are they doing?
Yeah.
And it's just built to not be successful.
Yeah, Mobley was definitely feasting out there on that.
He looked like Kevin Garnett.
Yeah, no, I believe. Yeah, Jake said that. Like, dude, it's just like Kevin Garnett out here on the floor. Like, this is an easy 28-12 for him out here. So, yeah, man, it didn't look good. The defense, like you said, was kind of as advertised as we thought. They definitely ran all day long. I liked the young guys.
And then
that's the other thing. I liked the young guys and how they played.
There were times where they would give up a layup and then try to like run, because one of the things that they're trying to do is not like, in order to play faster, it's not just like get more transition, right? It's like play faster within your sets, like move the ball quicker, cut harder, like make decisions faster. And so they'd give up a layup and then somebody would take it out and 4 guys would just be already down the court because they're trying to run. Yeah. And then somebody would have to like realize there's going to be a 5-second call. They'd have to come back and get the ball. And then it like slows you down again. So like, I just think there's some growing pains with this.
Sure.
And like, I think that the defense being what it is, I think it's going to be hard to run as much as they probably want to because of the fact that they're going to be taking it out from underneath the basket a lot. But I just think that is like a cycle that's going to be hard for them to break out of.
Just a reminder, Bulls Nation, and thank you for joining us. If you aren't already a CHGO diehard, now is the time to sign up. Still plenty of CHGO Bears tailgates left on deck this Bears season that you can get diehard discounts to, and they are great fun, and they are all you can drink and all you can eat. It is the place to be on Sundays when the Bears are in town playing at home. Shout out also to our Bears crew that's out in London right now. They have all kinds of fun events lined up for this London trip. You could have gone with them. Maybe you did. If you're out there on your own and planning ahead to London, they got all kinds of fun events. Diehards get discounts on all the fun events we're doing. They're also going out to the desert for Bears Cardinals later this season.
What if they're watching this from London?
Maybe.
I think
it's possible
in most cases.
Lots of all-inclusive stuff on that fun Arizona trip. You can get a diehard discount to that. Of course, you get diehard discounts to our fun Bulls and Blackhawks takeovers at the UC, which are right around the corner. Those first ones on the schedule will be dropping soon. 20% off every single time you shop at the All-City merch store, including some fresh Bulls swag. Of course, the Rose Forever design available in both shirt and hoodie. Get your hoodie. Get your new hoodie. Fall is here. Winter around the corner. Winter is coming.
It's coming.
Remember Game of Thrones?
I do.
What a show.
They ruined it.
It was a good one.
Yeah. Terrible final season or
Terrible
two.
ending.
But yeah, so discounts on all of our great merch, a free shirt of your choice when you sign up to become a diehard, access to the diehards only Discord lounge, one channel for each of our favorite beloved Chicago sports teams, and most importantly, the best of the best when it comes to coverage from our great staff of credentialed reporters and journalists here at CHGO, including that guy over there, Willie Gottlieb, on that Bulls beat. That's right. Snappity, snap. What are you waiting for? Do the math. 365 days in a year.
Yeah.
Our annual membership.
Mm-hmm.
21 cents a day.
Pennies.
21 cents a day for all of those perks and supporting your favorite Chicago sports coverage.
We're basically paying you.
Yeah. We're paying you to hang out with us.
That's
and
it.
like wear cool shirts and get cool stuff and talk to other cool sports fans.
'Cause you deserve it.
That's right. All right, guys. So maybe something as we wrap up here, as we look ahead, the Bulls have a few days off, like game-wise. I'm sure they're going to get some practices in between this and what? They don't play again until Saturday?
Saturday night. No practice tomorrow.
No practice tomorrow. Will they go Gottlieb on the beat? If there's something you didn't see tonight that you hope we see on Saturday in preseason game number 2, what is it?
Ooh, man. That's a good question. I mean, I guess I just want to see Patrick with a pulse. And I'd like to see
Pulsing for Patrick.
Yeah, pulsing for Pat. And I'd like to see Josh Giddey run the offense a little more just to see what it looks like. And I hope to also want to see Lonzo play.
You just want more.
Yeah, we deserve more.
Yeah.
Like I deserve more of what this team has been giving us. We deserve a little bit more. So, and like I said, I want to see Lonzo get out there and play.
Yeah, we didn't really talk about him. He obviously did not play tonight.
And more modest.
Joe Cowley was reporting that, wasn't a setback, but I think he the COVID spell that he dealt with, I think was pretty tough, and it's he wasn't able to work out for a week, and I think that put him a little bit behind the 8 ball coming back into training camp, and so
you mean conditioning wise?
Conditioning wise,
okay,
is what Billy was kind of telling Joe out in Cleveland for the game. So he said that he anticipates he will play at some point during preseason. Maybe that is on Saturday. Will be great to see Lonzo back on the court. Obviously, doing that in Chicago, I think would be a nice thing for Bulls fans to see after 2.5 years. But yeah, for me, in terms of things that I would also like to see, I think you nailed a bunch of them, just more from everybody. But Zach, I think, is another one. I just want to see him just get back to a little bit more, something closer to what we saw 2 years ago at the end of the season with Zach. Like
All-Star Zach?
I think not even All-Star necessarily, but just aggressive scoring mode Zach. Because I think he's working hard to fit into what they want to do, and I don't want him to lose sight of who he is and what makes him good to try to accommodate that. I think that there's going to be a balance there. It's not going to necessarily be easy or happen right away, but I think Zach is who he is at this point. And I want to see more of that because I think that's what the league needs to see.
I'm with that. I mean, whether in preseason or the first 10, 15, 20 games in the regular season, I think it's vitally important in a lot of different ways that Zach LaVine look good.
Yeah.
Balls out. We've got to move this forward, and it's going to be hard to do that if Zach is just I'm here for the kids. Here, kids, go play.
Right,
not looking like the Zach LaVine that.
And we talked about it, Vooch was doing that. He was not really dominating the ball or calling for the ball or disrupting stuff. He still had 12 points and 10 boards in 22 minutes.
Sure
he can buy in and showcase himself. That is it for tonight. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out with us on a weeknight, a Tuesday night for preseason action.
We are back.
We are back,
in
baby.
business,
we are
baby.
back. Hit the like button on your way out if you haven't done it yet. Appreciate it. It helps us out a lot. Make sure you also subscribe to that CHGO Sports YouTube channel or wherever you listen to your podcast. You can subscribe to us there as well. We're back tomorrow with a fresh episode live in studio, 5:30 Central Time, to continue talking about tonight's game and any other news that may come from the world of the Bulls and what we hear from Billy and the players following this game. One win in Cleveland. Take that, Cleveland. Nobody goes to Cleveland on vacation. Shout out Joe King. Until tomorrow, you can follow Will Will_Gottlieb, read his stuff, allchgo.com. Big Dave is a bow. BAWL Sports. I'm Bulls_Peck. We are CHGO_Bulls. Shout out and thanks to our pound producer on the controls, the one and only Kevin Wells. Found that Bulls win track.
Bulls
Take a
win.
minute. Hey,
Again.
Another one for the road.
One more time. Bulls win.
Shout out Ostis. Shout out Joel. Shout out Julia, Connor, Ostis, Fish, all of our diehards hanging out with us. Sal Garcon in the comments. Ego being great to see y'all back. Welcome back, everybody who took the offseason off.
Shout out
You
Marquette.
were more than welcome to. But Bulls back, basketball is back, baby.
Marquette in the comments.
Woo, Marquette! Josh Giddey's BFF? We'll talk to y'all tomorrow. See you around. Be good.
Bulls win.
Bulls win.
We all silly like the mayor.